What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jackson. I swear, if the Colts don't draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft, I might have to go find a new team. Powers here, and the reason I say that is because yesterday the Raiders announced that they are benching Derek Carr for the rest of the season, which has led to several speculations that he has played his last game in Las Vegas, which I don't think those are speculations. That's probably true. But where the speculations come in is that the Indianapolis Colts are interested in Derek Carr. And what this video is my opinion on what I think we should do. And the question that has been asked over the past 24 hours among Colts fans is, should the Indianapolis Colts go after Derek Carr in the offseason? So the short answer is no. The long answer is hell no. There is no way we should do that because that's just going to feed into the problem that we already have right now, and that we really need to draft a quarterback really badly. But knowing Chris Ballard, if we go and get Derek Carr, he'll be like, we got the QB situation figured out. We don't need to draft a quarterback, and he'll trade out of the top 5 and completely ruin us for another year. And it would just be really frustrating because the entire fan base is very tired of this QB carousel crap. Just to keep it a little simple. But yeah, I really don't think that we should. Now don't get me wrong. I think that Derek Carr is a great quarterback. I really do. I think that if we were having this conversation last year, I would have been like, yeah, I think we should. We should get Derek Carr and put him on the Colts. I think that would make us a lot better. But knowing where we are right now, that's probably, I don't feel that way anymore. Because, yeah, I think with the current roster we have, Derek Carr would be a perfect fit. But I don't think we're going to have the roster we have next year. I think during the offseason, we're going to see a lot of changes made. Because we're 4-10-1 when we shouldn't be 4-10-1. Everyone had such high expectations for this team in the offseason, including the media. A lot of people, almost everywhere, was picking the Colts to win the AFC South and have 13 wins with a floor of 9 wins. And we're sitting here at 4 wins with 2 weeks left in the season. So, yeah, we definitely need a rookie quarterback to build around. We need a guy that's going to come in as a horseshoe, develop as a horseshoe, and play as a horseshoe. That is not what we've been doing the past few years. Ever since Andrew Luck retired, it's been a real problem, and I think that we're going to see a lot of changes made this offseason. I really do, because there's just a lot of things that need to be done. Right now in the draft, we sit at 5th, and the way it's looking right now, the Bears have a pretty good chance at getting the number 1 overall pick, because the Bears, the last 2 weeks of the season, they play the Lions and the Vikings, who are both teams that are playing for a lot right now. And then the Texans, you look at them, they play Jacksonville this week, which they'll probably lose that one. But then they play us week 18, and I think that they're going to beat us week 18. I really do. And if the Bears lose out and the Texans win one more game, the Bears would have the number 1 overall pick, and that opens the door for us to trade up to number 1 to get Bryce Young. And if we do that, we're going to have to give up some assets, I think. Especially since the Bears are coached by Matt Eberflus. I'm sure he would love some of our players on defense. I would trade Shaq Leonard, DeForest Buckner, and our first-round pick for the number 1 overall pick, just to see if they would bite on it. Because I think if they took that to Matt Eberflus, I think Matt Eberflus would love that, because he's been with Shaq Leonard pretty much his entire career. Shaq Leonard's rookie year was Matt Eberflus' first year on the Colts coaching staff as the defensive coordinator. So Eberflus has been the one that's developed Shaq Leonard into the player he is today. And Shaq Leonard is so unpredictable right now that I think that trading him would be a great idea. And I don't want to see him go. He's probably, ever since his rookie year, he's been my favorite player. But it's just time for him to go. He gets injured way too much, and we don't know what to expect out of him. And same thing with DeForest Buckner. Matt Eberflus got 2 years with DeForest Buckner, and both were very productive years. And Buckner's getting up there in age, so I think us getting rid of him would be a great idea. And then maybe adding some other assets to that too. And like I said in the beginning, I think we're going to have a very, very different roster next year. Because I think that Jim Irsay is going to clean house. I really do. I don't think that Chris Ballard's going to be in a job next year, even though Jim Irsay did say on Monday Night Football that Chris Ballard would be the GM next year. I don't believe that for a second. Because he said the same thing about Frank Reich 2 weeks before he got fired. So that's you can't listen to anything he says. He's just saying that so the media doesn't start painting pictures in the wrong way. He's just saying that to not cause problems. But I think Chris Ballard's gone in the offseason because Chris Ballard has been GM for 6 years and has gone to the playoffs twice. Like, 6 years in NFL time is a long time. 6 years is plenty of time to turn a team around. And if you're only going to the playoffs 2 times in 6 years, that's a problem. If you're going 4-10-1 in your 6th year, that's a problem. That's a problem. This is his team. The reason that the Colts are where they are right now is because of Chris Ballard. 100%, because Chris Ballard just refuses to address the obvious positions in need, which is wide receiver and left tackle. It's been the obvious position of need for years. It's been wide receiver since Andrew Luck retired. Like, it's been very obvious, and we thought we had that fixed for a while with Michael Pittman because Michael Pittman has the talent to be a number one receiver, but he's just not there yet. He still needs time. He's not ready for that yet. He was thrown into that role way too quickly. And same thing with Alec Pierce. He's a rookie. He has the talent to be a number one, but he's not ready for that yet. I mean, he's a rookie, so he's not ready for that yet. And what the Colts need is a quarterback that can move around in the pocket, that is accurate and can go deep. And going deep is what really is going to help Alec Pierce get better, and that's what the Colts need. Because it's just a whole thing. I think the Colts, they're not going to be as bad for as long as a lot of people think, but I think we're going to be bad like next year. I don't think we're going to be good next year because I think next year is going to be a rebuilding year. I really do. I think probably going to clean house. We're going to get probably a new general manager. I think Jim Irsay is going to go all in to get Jim Harbaugh. And a lot of Michigan fans are like, have their hearts set that Jim Harbaugh isn't going to leave. If Jim Harbaugh's given an offer he can't refuse, he'll leave. Especially because I'm sure he wants to go back to the NFL at some point, and he loves the Colts organization. He played for us. He took us on a deep playoff run one year. He's in the Ring of Honor. Like, I think Jim Harbaugh would be the perfect coach for the Indianapolis Colts. I think if Harbaugh was offered the Colts job and Jim Irsay goes all in for him, I think we could get him. And I think we bring in Jim Harbaugh, we'll probably clean house on the entire coaching staff and let Harbaugh bring in the people he wants. And just, I think that's what we're going to do. Jeff Saturday's not going to be back next year as the head coach. Jeff Saturday was never brought in to be the head coach. He was brought in to be a placeholder until the end of the season. Like, he was brought in to sell tickets. That's been like half the reason we've made moves this year, was to keep selling tickets. Like, when we started Sam Ehlinger, I'm pretty sure that was to sell tickets because Sam Ehlinger's a fan favorite. And now everyone knows who Jeff Saturday is. That's why they hired him to sell tickets. That's really it. I mean, if Irsay, listen here. If you want to hire someone that's in the Ring of Honor, hire Jim Harbaugh. Hire the one dude in there that has coaching experience, for the love of God. Because, yeah, that's just not going to work. Like, I think next year, don't go get Derek Carr. Don't do that. Y'all need to do everything you can to try and move up in the draft, especially if the Bears get number one. Do everything you can to get that number one overall pick and draft Bryce Young. And if you can't do that, well, I would say draft whoever's there at 5th, which there's a good chance of C.J. Stroud or Will Levis, which I would take either one of those guys. But I don't know. The Seahawks are ahead of us. They may take a quarterback. I'm not too sure because Geno Smith is definitely not the long-term answer. Like, I think he'll be good for them for a few years, but I think they might take a quarterback this year to really just have that other option just in case things start to go poorly with Geno. Or maybe the Seahawks will wait till next year. Who really knows? But we'll see. But that's all I really have to say. The Colts need to draft a quarterback. We can't do more carousel crap. I don't want Derek Carr. Really, I don't. I mean, it's just it's not good. It's not going to be a situation. Now, if y'all are going to get Derek Carr and still draft a quarterback, fine. You can do that. But if you're going to get Derek Carr and not draft a quarterback, that's just an issue. Like, I'll be okay with Derek Carr as long as we still draft a quarterback too, because we need a rookie. And if we have Derek Carr to maybe mentor him a little bit, that could be a good thing. But I don't know. I'm not sold on Derek Carr anymore. He hasn't had a good season. Maybe being here will give him a fresh start, but I don't know. I just think no matter what, we need to draft a quarterback, and that's all I'm saying. I don't really care who it is at this point. We just need somebody to build the franchise around and just let them develop and do whatever they can to take this franchise to the next level. And I think everyone on our team that's not going to be in it for the long run, we should trade this offseason. Guys like Gilmore, Leonard, Buckner, guys like that. Like people who are very obviously like probably retiring soon, who are vets who aren't going to be here for the long run, trade them. Maybe even trade Quentin Nelson too, because he's making way too much money. We're paying $20 million for a guard, which is just unheard of. We're paying the most money for our offensive line out of everybody in the entire NFL, and we're on pace to break a franchise record for sacks allowed in a season. So it's just, yeah, we need a lot of things to change in this offseason. I think they will. But this isn't what I think the Colts are going to do in the offseason. I will make that video at the end of the season. But I just wanted to get my thoughts out there about the whole Derek Carr situation, and then I kind of got off track a little bit talking about what the Colts should do with the offseason because Derek Carr is involved in the offseason for us most definitely. And to sum it up, no. The Colts should not trade for Derek Carr, in my opinion. If I was the general manager, I would not do that. I would draft a quarterback and then let them play week one because they got to learn somehow, and I think the best way of learning is to play. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications, and follow everything in the description box. See you guys next time. Bye.